Greyjoy over and over again.
With a Greyjoy and Greyjoy traits. So before we get started, let's do this thing. I'm going to, here we go. Let's,
you can get all
the Ultra Pro
card boxes.
Because apparently we're
Ultra
fans.
Pro, if you want to sponsor our podcast, please do so. And compete with Tim Hortons.
Yeah, you can get into a bidding war with Tim Hortons to determine who wants to be our main sponsor.
But clearly not Apple. We don't use that shit.
Welcome back, Night's Watchmen, to another edition of the Cast in the Darkness. I'm Matt.
I'm Clay.
And this week we're going to be doing Forgotten Fellowship, the kind of most recent chapter pack from Fantasy Flight Games.
You mean the least unrecent?
The least unrecent? Well,
no, technically speaking,
second least unrecent.
The Hidden Agenda came out yesterday, so just not to us.
Yeah.
Before we get started with that, though, I wanted to make a prize presentation. This will probably go up after the HCHC videos are finished, because I'm not doing any real work on them. So by now you already know that I won the Hub City Hedor Classic with my Baratheon Knights of the Hollow Hill deck, and my prize for that was like a set of, basically a game kit set.
You got the full game kit, yeah.
Yeah. I already had a playmat, so I'm going to give my old playmat, not the one I won.
Not the one you won, you're going to give the old one.
I'm giving the old playmat to Clayton, who hasn't yet gotten one, and if he happens to win one next month when we run our last game night, then he can give this back. But otherwise, I wanted to ensure that all of us had a very beautiful Khal Drogo playmat.
That's right.
So Clay, there you go, buddy.
Congratulations on your
Almost making the cut twice.
Almost making the cut. Shut up, guys. Going into the final round, I was paired up. I was the top, not undefeated guy.
It's true,
So shut up.
We are going to do this very similar to how we did The Horn That Wakes. We divvied up the houses, again, mostly based on interest, a little bit based on necessity, because none of us play Stark or Targaryen.
Yep.
And
it's interest now. I think I'm doing Stark now.
So let's try and get this started with. Well, I mean, it's gonna take as long as it takes anyway.
It's gonna take as long as it takes.
But I'm gonna start with. Let's face it, arguably the best card in the pack.
Man-at-Arms?
We're gonna say this 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Oh.
There are 4 or 5 arguable best cards in this pack.
All right, let's start off with this.
Arguably the best card in the pack, Brightwater Man-at-Arms. $2 gold. Let's not even do that. I just cut it all.
You cut it all anyways. Don't give a shit.
Yep. Okay, so.
Do you want us to say the card number?
Yes, card 81 out of 120. Oh, we're getting to the end of the cycle. That's exciting. I can't wait to do the wrap-up, the cycle wrap-up episode. That's going to be fun. I think this guy is just fucking insane. He works so well with all of the different parts of Baratheon that are good right now. Like, there are things in Baratheon that he doesn't work with. He's not a knight.
Which is confusing because...
He's not a lord, he's not a noble.
Yeah.
I can't remember, do Bannerman play off the Bannerman trait? Or Baratheon play off the Bannerman trait that much or no?
Yeah, Alistair Florent is actually really good.
Oh, really?
Because he has a Holy Crest.
Holy
Crest. He's a lord. He's 3 strength Bicon, and he gives +3 strength for every Bannerman in power challenges.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, really?
He's really quite good.
That's really quite good, yeah.
He's really valuable. Like, that interaction is really good in the Holy Noble Cause deck that we'll get to later. But I used this guy to extraordinary effect in the finals against Stefan. He's so fucking good on setup on the first turn, and then melee schemes later on, just bring him right back. 4 strength, deadly, doesn't yield to attack or defend.
Yeah.
I don't care if he kills himself off.
Nope.
That doesn't.
He wins you 4 challenges a turn.
I saw him, I think, 2 out of my 3 Baratheon matchups, and every time he hit the table, it was like, not this asshole again.
I know. Like, he's incredibly frustrating to play against, and he just feels so nice to use. It's nice to be playing Baratheon and be playing powerful cards that are Baratheon cards. Because the Hollow Hill deck, the most powerful cards are traditionally just events.
Just events. And the other cards that are most powerful are Robert.
Sometimes they're Lannisters.
Red Queen's Faithful.
Red Queen's Faithful and
Dale Seaworth is actually probably the third best card.
Dale Seaworth. Yeah, Dale Seaworth's good. The rest of it is like Lannisters, Martels, like all the other stuff. Like it's nothing in that deck.
It's just
in that house.
It's true, but Brightwater Man at Arms. Oh my God, he's a very, very good indiscriminate card. Like he's good at his thing.
He does
so good
everything he needs. Like Deadly, it's not there for the attack.
No, yeah.
It's there for the defense. So all of a sudden you're not losing guys to Deadly because he's Deadly.
It's there for the attack too because you get to do both.
You get to do both.
He's strength 4, which is just enough. 4 is the right number.
Right, because it's bigger than everything else.
Yeah, we were talking
or
about
at least as big. Like, it's rare to see something bigger than 4. 4 is the number.
Yeah.
And he's got the number. He's got the right icons.
And 4 is enough to stop certain events from triggering. It's enough to block that big 9 strength swing. I'm going to block. You're only going to win by 3.
Right.
And you're not going to trigger all those other events that need
I've
4.
got to say,
Win by superior claim. Win by 4.
If you defend a 9 strength challenge with 4, he wins by 5. Because
7.
Max.
7. The
You're
stupid
thinking like Red Queen's Faithful and
Red Queen's Faithful. Why did I say 9?
The big armies.
I don't know.
The big
7
armies.
armies. All the fleets.
All the fleets. That's what I was thinking.
7.
This was the fleets, the big armies, all those strength 7. Why did I say 9? I'm really annoyed
don't
with
know, yeah.
Because those are 2 totally different numbers.
They're both odd numbers.
They're both odd numbers. We're just
One
gonna
of
go
them
with
is
that.
prime.
Yeah, one of them is. Blah. Anyways.
So yes, no, absolutely right. I mean, 4 is the right number for him because it also against things like Old Way, 90% of the Old Way deck's guys are 3 strength.
Yeah.
So it makes Old Way attack with 2 guys or defend with 2 guys.
Yeah.
In order to ensure they're going to win any of those challenges.
This is exactly why whenever I saw him on the field, it's like, you know what? He was the first target of Grey Ghost every time I saw him.
Oh yeah.
I've got to get around this guy who's gonna die.
Oh yeah. No,
like I'm not even gonna kill this guy. He's gonna die all on his own.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Brightwater Man at Arms.
And I think someone was bouncing him. Bouncing him back to their hand, yeah.
That's adorable.
Because you know what? Like 2 gold every turn to have this 4 guy, it's not so bad.
Yeah, bounce back to the hand. That's some cute.
I played a lot of Brightwater Man at Arms in the tournament.
He's good.
Oh man, yeah. No, I mean the issue is he's just so cheap and indistinct. Like you don't really notice him, but then he runs over you.
Yeah. And he works with Noble Cause.
He works very well with Noble Cause. He's exceptional. He's the best card in Noble Cause probably.
You can throw him at someone twice, double renown, win the game.
Exactly. And you renown on defense too.
Renown on defense as well. He could give you 4 power.
The issue is you have to play him on the turn you win in Noble Cause because he doesn't hold on to his.
So you mean you either have to play him on turn 1 or 2?
Yes, I'm saying.
So you have to play him when you play cards.
You have to play him
part of the game when you play cards.
Where you have cards in your hand and you put them into play. So you have to play him during the marshalling phase.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
And then he helps you win. Yeah. That's,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so the second Baratheon card is Forced March. It's not nearly as exciting as Brightwater Man at Arms.
No. It's awesome.
I had 1 or 2 in my Noble Cause deck. It's fine.
I actually think it's not for Noble Cause.
I think it's not for anything, sir.
The problem is printing cost 3 or lower on your own characters. Like in Noble Cause, your characters are all at least 2, right? That's
well, they're not though, because
well, no, but
like especially the Holy version, you have 1s and 0s.
I suppose.
But this card doesn't have a place right now because there aren't good aggressive Baratheon decks other than Noble Cause. Like the good aggressive Baratheon deck is Noble Cause, where like you said, running all the 2s.
Yeah.
And this guy kneels 1 Renowner and then 1 old Red Priest.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't really do that much.
And all the 0s.
And all your Bearer of the Lights, exactly.
Yeah. So
it's a good card. Like it's a strong effect. Stand any number of characters with combined printer cost 3 or less. If there was a viable Knights of the Realm Baratheon deck,
Yeah.
I think that it would be really good because you can kneel all your Kingsguard or stand your Kingsguard Squires and your all the one costs and bad neutral knights and stuff. But right now, Baratheon decks are either really, really big or really, really fast. And a holy noble cause deck or a non-holy noble cause deck like the one in Moncton a couple weeks ago, they don't have space for a card like this either.
No.
Because they need to draw as many cards as they can in order to win on turn 2.
Yep.
I'd love it in Greyjoy.
It'd be fantastic in Greyjoy.
Dampire's Drown, Good Brother, all the cheap stuff.
In
right?
Lannister?
I think it would be best in Stark.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Yeah. Just not Baratheon, because Baratheon goes big or goes too fast for a card like this.
Baratheon also has other ways to stand things.
That's the problem, right?
Right, yes.
It's not that they go big, it's that their things cost 2.
Well,
and
no.
2 is a bad cost for that.
There's a deck in front of your laptop, sir, that goes to 12, give or take.
Yes, that's fine. But the fact that it costs 2 is the problem, right? They start at 2.
Yes.
When you start at 2, standing things that cost 3.
Yeah, like you stand a guy with this, and that's not worth a card most of the time.
Yeah.
Like Mayra Seaworth stands a guy.
Stands a guy once with that card.
Right, Mayra Seaworth stands a guy every turn.
Every turn. Baratheon has other things that can stand a guy every
Baratheon's
phase.
got a lot of stuff that can stand guys.
Oh man, do they ever.
Baratheon loves standing up.
Fury.
Fury. Oh, okay, and let's go before I come. Do we want to just do the last Baratheon card now?
Yeah, why not?
Do all the Baratheon cards now.
Okay. So we're going to skip to card 98 of 100. Oh, I missed. That was 82, but it doesn't matter. 98 of 120 is a noble cause. So this card, I don't use the word revolutionary very often. But this card I hold is revolutionary. It changes the way decks have to prepare.
Agreed.
Last time around, we were talking about Ygritte, and how Ygritte changes the way decks have to prepare for a metagame.
Yep.
You can't just willy-nilly throw Shadows guys into your deck, like neutral guys into your
Neutral
deck.
guys into your deck.
That was actually just incorrect.
That turned out to be
Completely
completely incorrect.
But Noble Cause, the fact that this deck can exist, that there's a turn 1, turn 2 deck in the format. I don't like using Magic analogies too much when we're talking about this, but in Magic the Gathering, there have been, over the course of history, turn 2 combo decks.
Agreed.
They have always been powerful enough to be ban-worthy or restricted-worthy.
Yes.
A Noble Cause, I think, is just weak enough that it will always fly under the radar.
Agreed.
And by that, it will always be a risk.
Because a noble cause cripples itself.
That's right, yes.
You have a turn 2 win combo that if you do not win by turn 2, you are struggling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it is straight up. It is an uphill battle on turn 2.
Yeah. The fact that you draw one less card to a minimum of 1.
Yeah.
You're drawing 1 card a turn. You are 50% back of your opponent right off the bat.
Yeah.
50% cut off.
And if someone's even splashing choke against you and can survive 2 turns, you're done. You're drawing 1 card. You might be able to play it.
Yeah. If you can just fake it out for 2 turns, that guy.
The other main issue with Noble Cause is that it can't run the good setup cards. It can't run all the 0s and 1s that help it dump a hand on setup and then draw back up, because it only counts 2 cost guys. You have to be full on 2 costs. And you can only play 2 of them on setup. And then maybe another 2 of them on turn 1.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to just barf out your hand in the same way that Dark Ritual decks in Magic can and have for decades now.
Oh, we'll get over it.
We're actually on Greyjoy now.
We are on Greyjoy now. All right. So let's start with card number 83, Asha Greyjoy. She's got renown and 3 naval icons on, the 3 naval enhancements on each of her icons. She costs 4 because she's in Greyjoy, and she's power 3 because she costs 4 in Greyjoy, and that's how Greyjoy works.
Yes.
She's really cool. She supplants the. I think she's better than the banned Asha, the restricted Asha.
I think she isn't better than. I think she's
I think she's a good supplement.
Okay,
If you want to
I
run
think she's
another.
better in Greyjoy than the other Asha.
Okay, yes, I think that's true.
That is
Yeah.
true. Yep.
The other
I
Asha
will
is just
also-
way too useful in all the other houses.
I also want to point out that she's both a lady and an Ironborn still.
She is both a lady and an Ironborn, which
Yeah,
is a big deal.
both are
Both are
traits,
good
yeah.
traits.
Ironborn's
yeah,
a
she
big
lets
deal in
you,
Greyjoy right now.
Red
There's
Wedding.
a lot of the good Greyjoy cards.
She lets you Red Wedding.
She lets you Red
Let's
Wedding.
Red Wedding, yeah.
All of the good
Wow.
Greyjoy cards that have come out lately, a few of them, have been Ironborn. There's
Almost
been a lot
none,
of
yeah.
good non-Ironborn Greyjoys,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of things that trigger
Red
off
Wedding
of
on
Ironborn.
Renown. Oh, I love it. I just thought of that plot with Red Wedding on her so good. She's got Renown. It's just extra power on her. Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
god.
It's wonderful.
Ah.
If any opponent has more power on his or her house card than you, Asha Greyjoy cannot be killed. It's almost meaningless text.
Or yeah.
But there's not much to say about her. She's really good in Greyjoy. She
Yeah.
has
You were saying you think she's better than Where Loyalties Lie, Asha.
yes.
I contend that's not true. I think the opportunity cost of running Where Loyalties Lie, Asha, is higher than running her, because she lets you run negotiations.
She lets you run negotiations, but the other Asha doesn't have naval icon.
Right.
Right.
The other Asha doesn't yield to attack.
Yeah.
That is true.
That,
I mean,
that's a
it's a big
really,
deal.
Yeah.
really powerful
And the other
ability.
Asha, she doesn't yield to attack. That is true. Which would be.
She also has Renewal too.
Yeah,
She
she
also has
also
Renown.
Renown.
She is missing the power icon now.
Oh yeah, she doesn't have three
She doesn't
icons.
have three icons.
Does
She
she
doesn't
have
have
a
three icons.
Noble Crest?
I have no idea.
Does Noble Crest even matter for Greyjoy though? I
Noble
don't think so.
Crest doesn't matter for Greyjoy.
I hear you guys talking about it, and since I mostly play Greyjoy, she does have a Noble Crest.
She does have a Noble Crest.
But I hear you guys talking about these Noble Crests all the time, and I'm going, what the hell is that? I have
Power of
three.
Blood was the promo this like
Power of
last few
Blood-
months.
That Power of Blood card made me kind of start building a Lannister Noble deck.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
there
not-
are
It's not a deck.
There are some cute things you can do with Greyjoy Nobles. You've got Gilbert Fairwind, I think,
Yes.
who makes non-nobles not reducible, and
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
got some other stuff, but it's not worth it. There's not
No, like it doesn't play.
there aren't enough nobles in
internal.
Greyjoy.
That's right.
And it doesn't play
internal.
internally.
So I think that her plus negotiations is better than Where Loyalties Lie, Asha.
I would
Easy.
But
agree.
1-to-1, I think the Where Loyalties Lie, Asha is better.
Yeah.
I would say they're roughly equivalent. I was running Where Loyalties Lie Asha and Choke at our last event, and she was good. She was in Choke. She was my heavy hitter. She was insufficient. I like the two attacks. I'd almost rather have two separate guys doing it though. If she had three icons and didn't yield to attack, awesome.
All right, so
So let's move on to the next card since it ties so closely with Asha. It's card number 84, and it's Pike. Which is kind of surprising that we haven't seen Pike yet as a card.
yes, first Pike.
First Pike.
This card is weird. Like, it's no attachments, no events, any character abilities. It's almost invincible except for that one. There's two plots that can take it out, I think.
Two plots that can easily take it out.
Two
There are a
plots
bunch
that can
that others that can, like Search and Detain can.
But
I'm gonna turn the.
turn the sound off on your doobly doo.
Yep.
Doobly doo. Because it makes doobly doo sounds.
Doodly doo sounds.
Yeah.
Doodly doo.
So Pike takes one power, basically takes one power per turn from your house and puts it on Pike.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
those count towards your victory point total.
Yeah.
Because that, I didn't realize that wasn't a thing, but I guess it is.
Right. Yeah. Power
On locations
on
doesn't
locations
count.
doesn't count. No.
It's good to know, I guess, if you ever put power on locations any other way.
There's a Mance Raider that does it.
Yeah?
Yeah, he puts power on kingdom locations.
Does that do
And
anything for you?
Counts power on kingdom locations towards your
Okay.
victory point total.
Sounds good. Pike turns Asha on. It prevents people.
Oh, does it ever?
Does it indeed?
Prevents-
Oh.
It prevents people from stealing power off of your house.
Mhm.
It doesn't cost anything.
It turns on the Brotherhood guys in this pack, which
Yep.
can be valuable. They're both very good.
Does it turn on the Brotherhood guys?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Trigger
of
off
course,
having no
Because
Brotherhood.
they have
power,
the
yeah.
same. They have the same text essentially as
It's
Asha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It turns on all the Brotherhood things, I guess.
It doesn't really
Not really.
because
Most of the
they
Brotherhood trigger
count
off
on zero
power.
It's. I don't really know what to say about Pike.
It's. I mean,
I'd
it's-
like to see what's coming out in the next few sets, and maybe
Right.
there'll be a reason. It's for me, it's not sufficient just to use Asha and give that little bit of protection. Like if I'm taking enough, it's only one power per turn from
Right.
your house onto Pike. If I'm taking enough power challenges that
It's
I've
not gonna
lost that
matter?
power on my house, I'm probably losing so badly it's not going to matter. I'm not going to win on turn 15 with Pike.
You want might in a Hollow Hill deck though.
I'm not. Maybe. Anyway, but it just for me, it's
Yeah,
as
okay,
it stands
that's
right
fair.
now, it's not sufficient. It's really cool. If Greyjoy had anything else,
Right. At the
That
moment,
trigger.
it's not worth the spot in your deck.
right? It's just there's nothing but Asha.
When it's in
that
play,
triggers.
it's fine.
Yeah.
It's the opportunity cost of drawing it over something that might do
Something.
If I've only got 63, because apparently that's my number.
Right,
63 cards in my deck. Why is Pike one of them?
Right, absolutely.
I would like the small percentage chance of drawing something else instead of drawing Pike.
No, I hear you. Alright, let's...
Alright, so now we're on to the Greyjoy event, card number 85, Storming the Shore. So it's the total 3 cost card for Greyjoy,
Yeah.
and it kneels things.
Oh, it doesn't already.
It kneels locations. This has won me games.
Yeah.
Hands down. I look at it and you go, okay, it kneels locations, that's good. That's really good. It's not great, it's great. It's awesome. It shuts down other people.
It's better than it looks.
It's a lot better than it looks, because you know what? It doesn't usually hurt me that my opponent's got location. I mean, they might have a Pentoshi Manor, they might have a Lannisport Brothel, which you usually want to be standing in. Anyway, whatever. You might have a Lannisport Brothel. That stuff's kind of annoying, and that card's useful for that. But a lot of other guys' decks rely off of weird combos with locations. So anyway, I think out of all of the...
Greyjoy cards?
No, out of all of the events...
Oh, the 3 count?
I think this one is the most versatile.
I'm
not going to say the best.
Yes, most versatile. Certainly most versatile, yes.
Yeah.
No question.
Maybe not the best.
Second best, for sure.
It's really good in Greyjoy because Greyjoy doesn't have this.
It's arguably the best, close second if it isn't the best.
Yeah. But it's easily the most versatile. It shuts down more decks than anything else.
Oh, man, yeah.
I mean, well, first of all, locations are cheap.
As a general rule,
There's been more than one time when I used this card, and I knelt more than 5 locations.
So, let's go to...
Cool.
Let's move on. Since we're doing agendas today, let's go to card number 99. The Old Way. This, I've been really happy about this card for months.
Yeah.
And then I played the event, and it was awesome. It was great. It did everything I wanted it to, and now I don't like it. After using it and having it be awesome and having it win me so many games, and when I sat down and analyzed it and I realized that, you know what? It didn't really win me any games. It didn't win me any games at all.
It does nothing that 2 claim challenges don't already do.
It was completely redundant.
Yes.
So, card number 86, Askmark Night. Yeah. It's definitely the worst card in the pack. You should never play it. Never put it in any deck at all. It is garbage. I think it should be ripped up and thrown out.
Of the 3 Lannister cards, I actually think it's the worst Lannister card. It's easily the best Baratheon card, though.
It is... I think it is one of the best cards that they've printed. I think that's a very
I think it is, but it actually isn't any good in Lannister.
It's not good in Lannister
It's
because
alright in Lannister.
You can't use the cards you discarded.
I actually don't like it because the only card I ever discarded to it was Qyburn because it was first turn and I had no use for Qyburn.
Like,
that was the only card that I ever wanted to discard.
Lannister decks are so tight right now that discarding
want all
cards
of your cards.
costs
Too much. All your cards do something. Don't
All
mind me
your cards
walking
are good.
across the room because I threw the card across the room.
I think having that option is nice. I mean, it's not...
Sure.
It's an okay card aside from its ability.
What it does though, it is a 2-cost, 2-strength military power icon.
Yeah.
That is a bannerman and a knight. That military power icon, a 2-strength, that's important.
Yeah.
Sure. I think what it actually does is it gives you permission to build looser decks. It lets you play with worse cards that are more situational, exactly.
Yeah.
And then get rid of them when the situation doesn't manifest itself.
It allows you to fish in emergencies.
Right, yeah. I think that it's just such a good Baratheon card.
Well, yeah.
It's an amazing Baratheon card. It's just a 4-gold, 2-strength Bannerman Knight that lets you hit your draw cap every turn.
Hit your draw cap every turn. Yep, I agree.
I ran 2 of them in my Baratheon deck, and every time I saw it, I won the game.
Yep.
Oh my god. And it's a knight, so you can see who's stronger. It's just... Oh,
let me say, I'm pretty sure Askmark Night might be one of the strongest cards they've ever printed.
Askmark Night is incredible.
I would agree.
Unbelievable. That any phase is just phenomenally powerful. He does not belong in the Lancers.
I think that's why he's there. If this guy
Yes,
costs
that's fair.
2,
I
and
think
was
that's
in
why
the
he's
rack-
there.
Is like the
I think he's
hero's
there.
favor or
Yeah,
Egan's
exactly.
favor.
I think he's
Yeah.
there, so he's a 4 cost for everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah, so like your Greyjoy Hollow Hill deck,
Yeah.
probably going to be running at least 1 or 2 Ashmark
I
Nights.
could have put him in my old way deck without even blinking.
Sure, yeah.
Pillage, 4 gold, Ashmark Night. Completely agree.
A couple sets ago, we got to the Kingsguard, and Jaime Lannister was a reason to buy 2 copies of the Kingsguard. Ashmark Night, I think, is the best reason to buy 2 copies of this.
I would agree.
Unless you want to build 6 noble cause decks.
That's
Right, yeah, absolutely. I mean, who
like I
doesn't?
say, unplayable tripe. Never use this card. It's garbage.
Yeah.
I don't want to see this in any
I don't want to see this in any deck.
No.
Alright, next.
Next, Sir Gregors Dog. Yeah, it's kind of cool. This card actually makes me want to play Tunnels, and makes me want to play Power Behind the Throne again.
Does it make you want to play an Askmark Night?
This card triggers off of Askmark Night, quite
Yeah,
nicely.
exactly.
But I had one of these in my deck. It's a 0 cost for 0. It's a mercenary, so it's little mercenary hate there. Usually
Yeah,
pairs along with
A
ally
little
hate.
bit.
I think all those means that it never makes it into a deck.
I think that you run 3 of them in a Tunnels deck. I think you run 0 in every other deck.
Yeah.
I see no use. I mean, my.
Well, Tunnels deck, you're +1 strength for everyone in shadows, right?
Shadows.
So at least he's a
He's
0
0
cost.
cost.
He's
at least
a
one.
3
At least
refugee.
one. He's a
Yeah.
free refugee at that point.
No, he's pretty
That's-
cool. Yeah, I saw him in Tunnels against my first round.
Yeah.
My
Right.
event. Now I giggled because I'm playing the old way and he's got 0 power and he's got 1 or 2 guys in shadows. It really doesn't matter to me.
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
But it was just he's free.
Yeah.
He's free, and he's usually at least 2 strength in
He's
a Tunnels deck.
in a Tunnels deck. He's at least 2 strength. Like I said,
Makes him a refugee.
makes him a refugee.
He's pretty cool.
He's pretty cool. If you ever put him into a deck other than Tunnels, I think he's immediately cut
Unless
for
you're-
something else.
Playing around with some discard stuff, it could be a thing.
Like I say, Power Behind the Throne is the one that makes it interesting for me.
Yeah.
Because you get that second intrigue, and on the
Yeah.
turn,
He's getting
That
at
you
least
do
1 probably.
Game of Thrones, you intrigue with something, intrigue with him, then military with him. So at that point, he could be a 2 strength.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work.
But
to
that's
get a 2
but
strength
that's
guy.
a lot of work for a 2 strength guy. I would agree.
Yeah.
That's why I say
Once.
he never makes it. Yeah, once on
Yeah.
1 turn. He never makes it because cool, he's a 0 cost 2 strength for 1 turn.
Yeah. Yeah, the only time he's remotely playable, I think, is in Tunnels.
Tunnels. Yep. All right. So card number 88, Harry the Riverlands. Kind of cool, but I don't think it ever makes into a deck.
It kneels a guy.
And
It's the forced march for
it's the
Lannister.
force mark for Lannister. It's a cool ability.
It kneels a guy.
I think it gets cut for something else though.
I think it gets cut for something else usually. I mean,
I think
I don't know. It's pretty good against Greyjoy. I play a lot of cheap dudes. It would hurt
That
me.
said, I think it's actually the most powerful of them.
I would
It's the
I would
least
agree.
flexible,
Yeah.
however.
It is the least flexible out of all of the ones that are the any number combined 3 or lower. I think it is the most powerful. Kneeling a guy is
Kneeling a guy can be a big deal.
a big deal. I still don't think it stays in the deck.
No.
I'm pretty sure No Agenda doesn't want it. It runs other events and it has other ways to kneel.
Yes.
And
I think if the metagame moves to the point where Hollow Hill is no longer viable and decks are free to run more 0, 1, and 2 cost guys, this card immediately becomes viable. If
I
it
would
kneels more than 2 guys, it is
Awesome.
insane. It's a
Yeah.
one-sided Valar Morghulis.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's never kneeling more than 2 guys. Usually kneels 1.
usually kneels 1 guy. Yep.
Okay, Obara Sand, Martel card. It turns a bad strategy into a less bad strategy.
Sort of.
When AHA comes out, and it's out,
It's out yesterday.
she's an auto-include in the Bloodthirst deck. 1 copy of her in the
Yeah.
Bloodthirst deck.
Well, she does the same thing the Red Viper does, just not as well.
She doesn't do the
Well,
same
well,
thing.
she turns on when
Right,
she
yes.
has more control. Like,
Um,
except that having her, that she's a second character that does the same thing that plays off of when you have fewer characters. So it's an option,
she's
but you can't.
actually like way more than the second character.
Is she?
Yeah, like
Oh.
there's the new Ilaria Sand from Fire and Ice.
I suppose.
There's been a few other ones already. The thing she does is become a 5 strength renown character, which means she
Warcrest.
wins her challenge most of the time. Warcrest doesn't mean anything in Martel.
No.
Not
fine.
right now.
Truth.
It means she wins her challenge single-handedly.
Yeah.
It means that you don't need a second guy to attack with her most of the time. Because either she's winning her challenge with 5 strength, or she's losing her challenge and they melt 2 guys.
Yep.
9 times out of 10, that's what that means. And there are events being run in Martel right now that ensure that 2 guys aren't going to successfully defend her. Okay, so Doran's Favor. Okay, so it's really, really good alongside the little Targaryen girl that can't be discarded. Really, really good against the Targaryen knight guy that can't be discarded, like Raleigh Duckfield, Missandei. It's really good when combined with cards that can't be discarded from play.
Which seem to be Targaryen.
Predominantly, yeah.
And not particularly useful in Greyjoy, especially on setup ones when you want to use it.
Martel.
Martel, yeah, because Greyjoy, that's my word.
Yeah.
Yeah, Greyjoy.
Everything you talk about is
So
Greyjoy.
Greyjoy's Greyjoy is a Greyjoy cost Greyjoy with the Greyjoy keyword.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's all Nick wants to talk about is Greyjoy.
It has setup, which
So
doesn't matter.
So that card that you really want to play on turn 1, you can just kill.
I mean, it makes 4 influence. 4 influence is the magic number. You can Prince's Plans, you can Lustrous Bleeds.
Yeah, it doesn't even kill things. If it killed things, at least you could trigger the killing things that happen in Martel.
Yeah?
It really just discards, and that makes it...
Oh, you can use this, play an event, and then Parting Blow?
Yeah! Because...
There are ways to make this card good.
But they're
There
not
are no ways to make this card
playable.
good enough to be worth the spots.
No.
Okay, fit for the pit.
Yep.
Every pack has one.
Prepare for War.
They tend to be Martel
Card
cards.
lately.
Lately, they have been.
Prepare for War is card 91. Post Martel only events. So this is the cost 3 count card. Choose any number of influence providing locations, kneel or stand them, and it counts printed cost instead of influence generation, which is cool.
It's influence providing cards, not locations.
Yes.
That's
It can stand your house card.
theoretically relevant. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Or
you're
your
in
agenda.
the
Your
No, it gives the house card.
Okay. You can stand your house.
Your house card gains +2/+2/+2.
That's true.
That's
So
Yeah.
if you kneel it for like something and then you can stand your house card costs 0.
Truth.
So it always gets you at least 2 influence plus probably another.
While Sunset Sea costs 0. That said, this is not an effect that Martel needs.
No.
They
I
usually
mean,
have all
There are
of
so
them.
many influence providing cards that are actually useful for other things too,
Yeah.
that you might as well just include those.
I mean, Martel usually runs between 20 and 25 events, like the control decks.
Yeah.
All of those events have a very specific purpose, and they're all extremely flexible. This is a card that does one thing that might not even be good.
No.
Because it'll stand all your C's, your house card, and a red cube.
Yep.
But all that
Do you
does
care?
is let you play another red vengeance sometimes.
Sometimes.
Now, it would be a little bit better if it was kneel or stand all chosen cards.
It does say kneel or
No,
stand.
it says kneel all chosen cards
Or
stand
stand.
all
Oh,
chosen
right. So
cards.
you can't choose theirs, kneel them, and
And
stand
stand yours.
Yeah.
You can't combine
that's
the
true.
effects. It's one or the other.
It's one or
That's
the
true.
other.
If it was more flexible,
If
in
it was
that way,
more
then you can
flexible
use it
that
in
way,
an
like,
influence
and-
mirror.
I still don't think it would be great.
It wouldn't be
But
great.
it would be
That would be a
bit
cool
more
play though.
functional.
I didn't actually think of
And
that.
it would let you kneel some of their reducers.
Yeah.
Because some of the reducers.
Everyone's
fiefdoms.
all the fiefdoms. Yeah.
So like Martel against a Targ Hollow Hill control deck or whatever.
The
Just
King's
kneel
Roads.
their stuff. Yeah.
Like that would be, but it's not, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Even then, I don't think it would be great.
It's not worth thinking about. Stark.
Yeah. 2 Stark. Card number 92. Robb Stark. 4 cost, 3 strength, 2 cons, Lord, Renown, and a War Crest. And that War Crest is important in Stark.
Warcrest is very valuable
Yeah.
there.
Oh, it's awesome. the part that matters is renown and response. After you win a challenge in which Robb Stark participated, choose and kill a character with higher strength than its printed cost cannot be saved.
Big deal.
Big deal.
Huge.
I mean it's a big deal, not sarcastically.
Yeah, you know
It's a big deal. Yeah. Cannot be saved. Kill higher printed cost. Goodbye maesters. Goodbye anything that's boosted with a boom. Like
Tunnels.
Brigands.
tunnels.
Everything
Brigands.
in tunnels.
Everything in tunnels. Brigands. Yeah. Big deal.
This is a big deal.
Shuts down most of the great, or half the great
in-
longships.
My opinion, this is the best Robb Stark they've made. I think so.
It's arguable. Army
I
Robb
like
is
Army
still potentially
Army
as
Robb,
good.
potentially as good. Army Robb is still a king.
Yes.
So-
Still a king you can fetch with Jane.
Fetch with
Has
Jane.
to be only king.
Has to be only king.
Has a noble crest. Does it matter in Stark?
No.
No, not really. I don't think it.
Sometimes.
Apparently it makes everyone go. "Rrrr."
I'm just trying to think of stuff. It's kind of.
I mean, there are nobles in Stark you can play Power of Blood if you're playing that kind of deck. But if you're playing that kind of deck, you're not playing
Not
Army
playing
Stark.
that.
You're not playing Army Stark, no.
I like it.
I really like
He's a
it.
very,
scares
very
me.
good card.
It's a very good card. I really like it. It's the Robb Stark that I will play in my deck.
Onto a card that I think is actually better than Robb.
Yeah, let's go
Yeah.
to Harwin.
If... Oh, sorry, you go first.
I don't know. I'm kind of interested now.
In the finals of the HCHC, Stefan drew this card on the third to last turn.
Yep.
If he had drawn it on the second or third turn instead, he would have won that game.
Yeah.
No question. Because he just fetches his murder events and he kills the right guys, and the game is over before it begins.
Yep.
This guy, he does something that the Starks don't do very well, and that's card availability.
Yep.
No, and now you can go. I just wanted to get.
Really good card
That's a really good card. That's what I was gonna say. Is it? Keynote is search your deck for a card.
Yeah.
What
yeah.
do you need right now?
Yeah.
Do you need to kill guys? Go fetch your kill agendas. Do you
Yeah.
need to benefit from killing things? Go fetch Harrenhal.
Okay, when I first saw Harwin, I wasn't in love. On AGOT cards, I rated it a 3 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's wrong. I think it's certainly at least a 4.
I think so too.
You have to have fewer power on your house card.
Yep.
That's a thing that sometimes it's an issue, like especially in a siege deck or whatever. But
I currently have one in my start deck. I think
it's correct.
that's correct. That not having power on your house card, I think that's a big.
There are no ways in Stark to lose power on your house card unless your opponent does it for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fine.
But he's really good in the early turns of the game, which is when you really want him anyway.
Yes, that's right.
I think-
exactly.
If you get him on turn 6, he's not terribly useful, but he wouldn't be terribly useful anyway.
All right, so target cards.
Target cards. All right, so we've got card number 94, Griffin's Roost. It's a location. It does something. While any opponent's house card has more power on your well, they've got more power on the house card than you. Raise the claim value on your revealed block card by 1 during power challenges. It's
You're in the Iron Throne.
It is an agenda and a location card.
It's useful once, maybe twice in the game.
Area Name Throne. Is that the agenda? Or is that
You're in
the
the Iron
plot?
Throne is the agenda.
Yeah.
Because if you're making a one claim power challenge and you win, you've made a difference of 4. They're 2 lower, you're 2 higher. Chances are you've probably got more power in your house now.
Yeah.
And then if they can take it back, but really it's. I don't really think it does anything.
I have 1 copy of my King Viserys deck.
I mean, it doesn't hurt. It gives you an extra power. I mean, you can make a 3 claim power or 2 claim power challenge.
Yeah.
Raise it to a 3. You take 3 power. I mean, it's a big difference of 6.
Yeah. Like the King Viserys deck, the goal is that it wins on 3 or 4 power. Because it runs things like Formal Petition and then all the 0 cost attachments that go in Viserys.
Yeah.
So it should be able to win on 3 or 4 power. And a 2 claim power challenge can win you the game.
Agreed.
Especially if you have the right cards, you could be winning off unopposed claim and
Well, 2 claim
renown.
power challenge, you could take 6 power.
You can take 6 power in one challenge.
And in a deck where you really only want to win on 4 power, 6 is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty cool.
But that's the only Targaryen deck I can really think that can abuse it. An air deck that just gets to double power challenge every turn. I don't know. Like, I don't think it's only going to get to use that ability the one time, like you said.
Yeah.
Because by the time you've used it the first time, you probably don't have less power anymore.
No, like you might get it a second time. If the other guy hits you back hard, it can add a lot of back and forth, but
Like if they might get a second time because if you're using in a turn, you have 1 claim and they have 2.
if you're wasting this card on a turn, like if you're wasting this card on a game where you're going back and forth, the spot's probably better used by something that'll let you win.
Yes.
So if you got a card that allows you to go back and forth better, that's not as good as a card to let you win.
Yeah.
And then we get on to Danny's favor. Yeah, I like this card. I'm not in love with it. But it turns a cheap, crappy dude into a cheap, awesome dude.
It costs 2 cards though. I've been cutting it from every deck Blake has been sending me for the last 2 weeks. Every deck he's been sending me the last 2 weeks has had at least 2 copies of Danny's favor.
Well, the problem with Danny's favor is you can't put it on anyone important.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah.
You might lose a challenge.
You might lose a challenge. Yeah.
It turns one of your claim things into attacky guy.
It costs a card though. It's not. Cards are so hard to come by, even in Targaryen.
Yeah.
Like you don't draw that many cards in this game.
Yeah. Even with like the recursion, do you just discard it and then bring it out again? Does it help at that point? I don't think it does. I don't think you care to recur.
There's better stuff.
There's better stuff to recur. You're going to be recurring
And
other
really,
0 cost.
How many icons are you giving a guy with this card?
In
one almost always.
One
I was
almost
going to say
always.
1 in Targaryen, 1.
One.
In
Maybe
actually
none.
Targaryen,
Mostly 0.
none.
Because
Yeah.
a lot of
It's
Targaryen
usually
really
cost.
cost.
+3 strength and dies half the time.
Yeah.
And dies half a third of the
I
time.
still kind of like it. I don't play
Only one
Targaryen. I see a couple uses for it, maybe, but not anything that you couldn't do with other things.
King Viserys. So you had Gendry, did you?
I have Gendry. So we've got card number 96, Gendry. No house, 1 for 1, Bicon. He's pretty cool. He's got the
So fucking good.
He's got the new Brotherhood thing where if your opponent has more power on their house than if you have 0, and if you win a challenge, participates in move 1 power from the losing player's house onto Gendry.
Oh, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah. Because he allows him to trigger himself.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty cool.
Mhm.
Because you can lose challenges and take power off your own house. If you want.
No, you have to win a challenge.
You know,
If you win a challenge,
after you win a
losing power,
challenge,
okay.
move 1. It's +1 claim. +1 power claim. It is.
Yeah.
I make a military challenge and steal a power.
Okay, you guys aren't Vera players, so you don't know. But the Bastard of Night song is so fucking powerful.
Which one's that?
3 cost, 3 strength, Bastard Knight guy. When you win a challenge with him, move a power from opposing house card to him. He's so freaking good.
Yep.
Like, he enables you to rush so powerfully. This guy doesn't have any other keyword, and he's just a 1 cost, 1 strength guy.
He's an ally.
But
Ally.
that doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
No.
I mean, yes, there is ally hate. People aren't going to be ally hating Gendry. There are way better allies to hate.
Well, they will hate him if he's won 2 or 3 challenges.
I mean, he is flexible.
He's flexible.
He's powerful. And those 2 things alone make him vital, and he's good on set.
I think
cheap.
He's cheap. I think
He's cheap and powerful.
He's cheap and powerful. But I think all of the Brotherhood stuff, I think they want to be Vera.
Yeah.
They can be Greyjoy. There's some.
I think
I think I've seen a Greyjoy.
But
I don't think it works, but I think it might
Yeah.
work in the future.
That being said, I think
he's really good.
he's really good. Yeah.
All right.
I think this one's better.
I think that one's
I think this one is better.
another
I think
card.
card
That's probably
number
better.
97, Lady of the Leaves, is awesome. So 2 cost, 2 strength, 2 con, intrigue power. Brotherhood, immune to events, and again, while any opponent's house card has more power on your house than on your house card, Lady regains any phase. Neo Lady of the Leaves, to choose a character until the end of the phase, treat that character. The text box was blank.
Does that include icons?
Yes. No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
include
Not
icons.
but text box.
Okay.
That
It's
bit right
traits,
there.
It's traits. It's anything in the bottom, like a plus gold or influence,
Yeah.
and then keywords and
Okay.
text,
Mhm.
as well as flavor text.
That's good because someone did that to me in the event, and I attacked and wasn't sure if it blanked icons or not.
It doesn't.
Turn
And
it doesn't.
anything that has an
Good.
outline isn't blanked.
Okay, well, I'm
Yep.
glad I didn't cheat.
Lucky, yeah.
Yeah, I like not cheating.
If
when it's by
Stefan
accident.
had this card, he would have won our game,
Yeah.
our finals match.
That Lady of the Leaves is powerful
Oh
And
my
cheap.
God.
and cheap. 2 cost, 2 strength Bicon.
It's
Yeah.
automatically playable-ish.
Yeah.
Immune to events.
And it's
Good.
pretty
Good,
good
yeah.
icons for the houses you're probably going to be putting it in.
No, you put it in every deck.
I think it goes in every
It's
deck.
pretty good icons in most houses.
It's okay, not inarguably, but it's potentially an auto-include in every deck. Every control deck, 100%. Every
Yes.
Hollow Hill deck
I
should
don't have
include
one
of
in.
this.
I don't have one in my Lannister deck. I don't think I will have one though.
Well, Lannister's the only
It's
house.
so tight.
It's so tight.
Lannister's the only
Lannister.
house that doesn't have good icons for, right?
Well,
That's
the,
right,
the problem with Lannister is you want all of the cards in Lannister, and it's so hard cutting one for this.
But the trick with this
Oh, it's
card
a card
is
that you can discard to Ashmark Night.
this card. Yeah,
It's
This
another
card is
card.
not
that I'm
based
already
on the
cutting
cards.
Qyburn because I don't use
this
them.
card doesn't work synergistically with the other cards. It screws up the other guy's synergy. It doesn't matter what else is in your deck, right?
Blanking a card, a text box.
Big
is
deal.
So powerful though.
Fucking good. Like, that's the reason why Marjorie Tyrell, I was running that Marjorie Tyrell rather than the good
The
one.
good one.
Which one?
I was running the
The one that
Shadows one.
blanks deck?
Whenever a card comes in a Shadows, blank a card.
Oh,
Actually, as
instead
far
of
as I'm
the
concerned, that
That's
is
the reason why
good
Mirror
one.
Reed is the
Mhm.
best Stark
I
restricted
like
card.
that one.
the response, put a card. That card is knelt and now in the challenge.
Yeah, no, I like the Shadow one.
Oh, I prefer the other one.
I do too, but blanking cards is so important.
Yeah.
Especially when you need your cards to be as good as they can be.
Truth.
Yeah.
I agree.
Blanking your opponent's one good card can win you that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the other one because it gives you a silly jank play in.
Oh no, it allows you
Lannister.
to intrigue their military guy.
Yeah, intrigue their military guy.
Yeah, no,
It's
it's
awesome.
enormous.
Uh,
If I could,
Oh yeah, I said it on the podcast where against Kane, intrigue Cersei, gave her deadly power with the two of them,
Yes.
drag something else into the deadly chain
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stab it to death.
It's
Oh my
super
god, I love it.
so good.
That
yeah.
magic is so
However, if someone else is a Lady of the Leaves, you can't do that.
good. Exactly.
Lady of the
Lady
Leaves.
leaves, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Lady of the Leaves, your Cersei. Oh, womp
It's-
womp.
That is, I am the saddest
It's
person
like
in the
storming
world.
the shore, where it shuts down the other guy.
Yes.
Except for you can shut down the other guy a couple of turns in a row.
I automatically put one in my Martel Hollow Hill deck. I didn't have one in my Barra deck.
Mm-hmm.
I probably want one in the Barra deck.
Probably want one in the bear deck.
There's not. I don't have one in the Stark deck. I think it probably should be one in there.
Probably.
It's
'Cause
going in
with
like Greyjoy Hollow Hill.
Nightmares and
Oh,
stuff like
sure.
that. I like taking her out.
Especially
She's supposed to be
alongside
there.
Pike.
Especially alongside Pike. It allows me to bring
Uh,
Pike, allows me to bring Asha.
Lady of the Leaves is really good alongside Red Queen's Faithful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Red Queen's Faithful, you can move power from your house onto your guy.
So, last card of the pack.
Last card, card 100. Red Wine Straits. I think this is the card that gets Hollow Hill restricted.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
Well,
It's one or
wasn't
the other.
the last pack that had the other Hollow...
Oh,
The
the
river.
Fouled River.
The Fouled River.
Foul
Yeah.
River, yeah. And you're
And I was
like, this
really
is the
into that.
only card that you want to play first turn in Hollow Hill. This pack comes out. This is the only card you want to play first turn in Hollow Hill.
No, absolutely.
I think you play this one first turn and Fouled River next turn.
No,
Yeah.
you don't.
No.
I don't think so.
I don't think you need the Foul River
the
anymore.
Befouled River is completely irrelevant now.
Yeah, it's true.
Unfortunately, but true, because second turn you just want to play Rally Cry.
And second turn, you probably have more stuff. You probably have more cards
No.
to command than the other guy does.
Yeah, it's...
After Red Wine Straits, you probably have more cards.
Yeah,
than you
yeah.
command.
But let's be serious.
No, not if you're playing Ashmark Knight and Pentoshi Manor in your Baratheon deck.
That's Poe. 2 Pendoshi Manors in
Yeah,
Ashmark.
Ashmark Knight, that's my 10 gold.
Yeah.
But you can't win the game anymore. Yeah.
Unless someone kneels your Pendoshi Manors with the storm on the shore. And
Yeah,
then...
maybe that's fine, but that's...
But I still have an Ashmark Knight to get whatever I
Still
want.
don't
and
care,
everything.
exactly.
Still don't care. You
It's
have
hard
cards
as
that
stupid.
shuffle it through and then.
So Red Wine Straits, not in Hollow Hill. is too risky to be playable, I think. I don't think we can say anything else about this card because I don't think it's going to be good enough after February. So did we want to go to top cards?
Top cards.
I didn't even think about that. Now you're making me brain.
So I'm making you brain. Okay, so third place, are we good?
Third place.
Third place? I'm good on third place.
Alright, I have Askmark Night.
I have Harwin.
I have Storming the Shore.
Shocker, you have a Greyjoy card.
I have a Greyjoy card.
Okay,
Yeah.
Harwin is interesting. Let's start with Harwin.
I think Harwin, because it's, like I say, it's that ability that was missing in Stark. It's the ability to fight back. It's come back from losing. That they're missing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my pick for Harwin.
Storming the Shore, it's a really
Storming the
boring
Shore?
pick.
Really boring pick?
Yeah.
It is a really boring pick. I think it's awesome in Greyjoy. Greyjoy has a lot of ways of dealing with locations. All of those require them to win the challenge first. This one allows them to make that challenge.
Okay, sure, yeah. That's fair.
It allows them to make that challenge, and then they can do whatever they want to your locations.
Yeah.
Like they
Good
can
point.
tickle all your locations, but before it was hard to get there. You had to make a concerted effort to get there. Now I don't, and it shuts down everybody else.
I have Askmark Night, and Askmark Night is my third place card because I think it's the third best Baratheon card in the pack. This card single-handedly turns Baratheon Knights of the Hollow Hill deck from a good recursion deck to a completely bonkers draw engine.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredibly abusive, and that deck is gonna get Hollow Hill restricted.
Yeah.
Okay. There was really no discussion for our third place cards because they're just obvious.
They're just obvious.
Yeah.
Do we have second place cards?
I have second place card.
Which makes mine really interesting.
All right. Let's see what
I
we
have
got.
Lady of the Leaves.
I also have Lady of the Leaves.
Mine is Asshmark Night.
Woo!
Yeah.
Okay, so we've already talked about
We've already talked about
Why
Askmark
do
Night.
you have it as second?
For that reason, is because it makes Baratheon the second best deck in the pack in the format.
Maybe the best.
Maybe the best. Like that's why I
Yeah.
say that's why it is number 2. That's why I think
fair.
it's better than second place. That's why it's better than than. Actually, I don't think it's better than Lady of the Leaves.
But I
But
think
like,
it's better than Harwin
I think it's better than Harwin.
Why do you have Lady of the Leaves second?
because it's useful everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty awesome everywhere.
It's your number one card?
It's my number one
cheap.
card. Yeah, I gotta say it.
I have no problems with this. There's no point where I don't want it.
Are you suggesting it's the second best Greyjoy card in the pack?
I'm suggesting it's the actually, you know what? I'm suggesting it's the best Greyjoy card in the pack.
Okay, that's
Because
fair.
my last card is not a Greyjoy card.
What?
Yeah. It's not a
Amazing.
Greyjoy card, it's not a card I can even use in Greyjoy.
Well, that's interesting. Alright, I have Lady of the Leaves because it's the second best Baratheon card in the pack.
Yeah. That is control lock in whatever you need to be in.
Yeah.
It's a good splash. It's got the right icons for almost everything.
Yeah.
Like except for Lannister.
Yeah.
It's got the right icons. Those are the 2 icons you want everywhere else.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. Yep.
Nope, it's
And
great.
it's pretty fantastic.
It's a icon, 2 strength for 2 with immune to events.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's also awesome.
And it's also game breaking.
Yeah,
It,
it
also
also
has a
includes
game breaking off.
Now, I mean,
game
It
breaking
is
response.
pretty easy to turn off the game breaking response. Like it's something you're gonna get every single time.
Right, you have
Yeah.
to play for it.
You have to
Yeah,
play
play
for
for
it,
it,
and it doesn't help you if you're already kicking ass.
Absolutely.
Oh dear.
Yes.
You guys know me. I like cards that are everywhere. That's why I'm going to spoil it now. It's my number 1 because cards that affect everyone as a whole is so much more powerful. And for all the reasons you guys said, is why it goes everywhere.
Yeah.
It's because that's why I think that card is so strong.
No, absolutely.
And I actually have a tie for my number 1. I think it's gonna be super exciting because
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we're about to see the one of them.
My card is Brightwater Man at Arms.
My tie for number 1 is Brightwater Man at Arms
And the other
and
one?
Ashmark Knight.
And Ash
Oh,
Rock.
see, there you go.
Really?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
That's
This
right.
was a very
I
uninteresting.
picked 2
Let-
Baratheon cards for my number
Wait,
1.
hold on. All right, so we talked about Askmark Night. We talked for third and second. Let's not talk about for first, because we're going to say the same thing a third
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Brightwater Men at Arms.
I picked Brightwater Man at Arms because I think that it's the best Baratheon card in the pack.
I picked Brightwater Man at Arms because it's a card that annoyed me more than anything out of every single game I played at the last event.
I did not pick Brightwater Men at Arms because I knew one of you was picking it.
At least one of
At
us.
least one of you was picking it.
Yeah.
I was certain that he was taking it number 1 and overall, and it's. Yeah, I just picked something else.
I would play that, I mean, assuming it was in any other house, I would play that in every deck.
I think there's no question this is the best card in the pack. The only issue is whether or not Ashmark Night is as good.
Yeah.
or Lady of the Leaves is
Is
as
as
good.
We're totally staying. All right.
We're the Cast in the Darkness. I'm Matt.
I'm Clay.
I'm Nick.
Until next time, keep your stick on the ice.